Guess who's back? Yo, it's your boy Aris coming back at you with another YouTube video after what, like 3 months? So I know it's been a really long minute since I've posted, but I want to apologize. It's just so much has been going on in my life recently. Like I moved, work, school, a lot of things have happened that I couldn't be posting. But once again, I'm here and I'm grinding. I'm gonna stay consistent because you already know. I had so many people telling me, Aris, when are you gonna come back? When are you gonna come back? I'm like, hold on, I'm trying. Keeping up with Aris on the Fridays is coming back. Just give me a break. Just give me, give me a minute. Well, I'm here and it's gonna be a whooshy. Today's video, what I'm gonna be doing is a little story time of how I got my driver's license, basically. And it wasn't, it's a pretty wild story, I would say, because if any of you guys know me, I am a horrible driver. And when I mean bad, like I don't mean like, okay, he's all right. No, I mean like terrible. But let's just go fast forward. Let's go reverse like a year and a couple of months ago. I'm getting ready to take my driver's license test. So I signed out of school. My mom picked me up and we went to the DMV. We have all the papers, we give it to the lady, and the lady calls my name. She's like, okay, just stand over here in the corner and it'll be your turn to take the test, right? So just so you know, the first time you take your driver's license test, it's completely free. Every time after, if you fail it, then you have to pay like a fee of what, like $25, I think? So we were in the waiting room. The lady calls me. It was like 𝐹𝑅𝐼𝒟𝒮. I was like, okay, she doesn't seem nice, but I'm like, whatever, it's fine. So I'm walking. So I'm like walking behind her. I bring my, I think it was my brother's like ratchet little car that I was driving in. But hey, it still worked. So it was a car. So we were gonna use that car, and then the lady's like, inspection, and I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, open the door, and she's like, turn on the car, put on the brakes, lower all your windows, and one window wouldn't lower. And then she, like the back left window, I think, wouldn't lower, and she was like, sorry, you can't take the exam. Your car doesn't pass the pre-test. I was like,
she is a bitch. B-I-C-T-H.
I was like, I was so excited. Like, I'm over here like so bubbly and happy because I'm about to get my license. I'm about to like, I got out of school for this, and you told me I can't do it. And she's like, yeah, come back next time when your car actually works out. I was like, okay. I failed technically once right there. That was my first fail, you can say. Second time I went, I think it was like a couple days after, I went in my mom's van, minivan. Heads up, never take your DMV test in a minivan. Ever. It was a different lady this time. She was like, 𝐹𝑅𝐼𝒟𝒮. I was like, it's still like viejita. I was like, still a lady. I was like so excited again. I'm like, again, trying to like, you know, get all happy and stuff because I'm getting my license. So we get in my car. I passed inspection because the mom's van was like fine. Get in the car and I was so nervous. Like, I don't know, like my heart was beating. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was so nervous. I don't know why. And I feel like because I was nervous, messed me up a lot. So I was in the car and I was driving. I never once used turning signals. You're supposed to use turning signals whenever you're turning right, whenever you're turning left, anything. Even reversing, whenever you're going to a parking spot, you're always supposed to use flechas, like the turning signals. I never used it ever throughout the whole time, but I didn't know. She was like, stop. And I was like, yes. And she's like, you can just park right here and we can go back into the DMV. I was like, in my head, I'm like, but we didn't even get to the parking. We didn't even do like the 3-point turn or anything. Like we didn't do any of that, you know, big stuff that I was preparing for. And she's like, there's no need, come on. I was like, that's when she like had to learn to, I was like, And so I get out the car and I'm like over here like wondering, and she tells me, oh sorry, your son failed because he didn't use any turning signal, so there's no need to continue the exam. Like, what? I was like, did I really not use any turning signals throughout the whole time? And I was so angry. I was so mad. I was like, how the was I not gonna use any turning signals? Oh, that was my second fail. Third time was a couple weeks later. We went to the front desk lady, and the lady was like, asked us for a specific paper that we didn't have the last time we did, and she was like, sorry, you can't take your exam unless you have these certain papers. I was like, whoa, hold on. I felt like everything was coming against me. I'm like, every time I'm trying to pass this test, nothing is working. I was already frustrated. I was like, why is this not working? Like, am I freaking SpongeBob right now? Like, can I not pass my driver's license exam? Like, the third time I technically failed, you can say. And then the fourth time was like a couple weeks later. I came, I was ready, I had my mom's van, I was like, I'ma kill this, right? I was already mentally prepared. I was like, no more, I'm done. I was like, this is sad, like, come on, I need to do this. So, we go to the DMV, I get the same old lady that I had before, and she was like,
𝐹𝑅𝐼💟𝒴.
and so we're in the car, and then we're doing it. I use flechas this time, boom. But then, so I'm getting ready to park. So we're at the part where she's like, okay, just pull in right here and park forward. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I'm in my mom's van. Like, I was already cautious and worried about this big ass van that I'm driving. The parking lots are like, spaces are at least this big, right? The parking spaces at the DMV, they like purposely make them smaller. I was like, how am I gonna fit my big van inside this little parking spot? Like, come on, like, it's not realistic. So I'm going in, I'm turning in. I'm like, oh fuck. And I already turned in wrong. And I'm like, oh frick. And so I try reversing to go back in, and I take one of the cones on the left-hand side. And the lady's like looking at me. I'm like, it's okay, I can fix it. And then I reverse back in, and I'm like, and then I take the other cone, and the lady's like, okay, you can just stop, it's fine. I'm like, no, I can do it, because I wanted to pass so hard. So then I reverse, and I go forward, and I go like jerk, and the lady's like, boom, and she's like,
Okay, that's enough. You can turn off the car, we can go back to DMV.
I was like, wait, let me do it again. And I reverse, and I go back, and at this point, I literally like made like a whole turn. A little circle. I basically made like a whole like turn, and I took out all the cones, and the lady's like,
Oh my god.
Mrs. Pop!
Oh my god, and she literally took out her seatbelt, opened the door, and she walked out the car. She walked out the car and started walking towards the DMV. She was so mad. I was like, oh my. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna freaking yell at me, cussing me out in front of my mom. Oh my god, she's so mad. She's like, stop. So I parked the car, and we go in there, and she goes to my mom. She's like, your son took all the cones. Your son completely did not listen to instructions.
I think it's safe to say you have once again failed your driving test.
And was saying all these things. My mom was like, and I was like, no, mom, she's lying. So then that's the 5th time I failed, and I had to still pay. Every time you fail, you have to pay a fee. And so it was just adding up. My mom was like, I'm not gonna keep spending money on you. She's like, regardless if you need your license or not, I'm not gonna spend money on you. Like, why is the world against me? I was like, I'm a terrible driver, but I just wanted to get my license, right? So after that experience, I was kind of traumatized for like a couple months. I was like, let me just stop taking my license test. I was like, I need a break. So after a while, we found a smaller car for me to take my exam test in. And so we go to DMV, and I'm like, bro, this is gonna be my 6th time taking this test. If I don't pass this, it's just meant for me not to pass. It's meant, like, the gods are telling me, Aris, you are not allowed to have your license. Like, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's for a reason. Maybe I was gonna die in a car accident or something. Like, maybe I'm just trying to put some optimist, you know what I mean. We go into DMV, we sit down in the waiting room, and guess who's the lady after months gonna do my exam? The same viejita.
𝐹𝑅𝐼💟𝒴.
It looked like she wanted to fucking kill me. Like she was traumatized from the last experience. Should we get to the car? We have a smaller car now, so I'm like, I feel more reassured, more like, I got this. So then we go in the car, I basically ace everything. And the last thing was the parking. So we're going to the parking, the lady's like, and so, but I pulled in, I did a bigger loop, and I killed it though. Like I did a pretty fucking sick job parking. And then I did it good. And then towards the end, she was just really quiet, like really quiet. So I'm over here thinking, did I pass? Did I feel like, is she gonna like do some petty shit and not make past me? And so we get out, we go into the DMV, and she was like,
your son did very well. He passed.
I was like, this next time I got my license, bitch. After so long, I finally got my license. And so we're getting over to get my ID, and the lady's like, it's gonna be like $40-something to get your like ID. I felt so bad because I had to make her pay for all the times I failed. I had to make her pay for the ID. I felt so bad. I love my mom. She's like the beautifulest, most amazing woman in the world. I am so happy I have her. So the total amount of times I had to like take my exam, fees and everything, and like my ID, I spent over like at least $100 and something like just trying to get my license. It was ridiculous. It was literally crazy. But when I got it, low-key, I feel like I shouldn't have got it because till this day, I am a pretty bad driver. Like I've gotten to like 4 car accidents, and one of them was with myself. Like that lady who let 𝐹𝑅𝐼💟𝒴 drive on the highways on the roads of Florida, she must have been thinking in her head like, Lord help whoever is gonna be on the road with this kid. But honestly, I got it. It's Gucci. I'm doing good. Got my new car, and I haven't crashed that yet. But yeah, guys, this is the end of this video. If you guys want to see more Keeping Up with Aris on the Fridays, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell button, and I'll see you guys next week with Keeping Up with Aris on the Fridays. Deuces!